Working now? It's working now. Hey, Jared. How you doing, mate? It's not my birthday anymore. Hey, Kenneth, Drayson's. How you going, guys? Close enough? Yeah, I suppose. Couple days. What's a couple days difference? Hey, Daniel. Oh, the whole crowd's here. That's cool. Right on, right on, right on. How are you all doing this morning? So, not quite. I didn't actually get drunk on my birthday. I know it's a shocker, but I don't actually drink, so. Swampy, Wisconsin. Fair enough. Greetings from not quite swampy Perth, WA. Yeah, no birthday hangover. I didn't drink on my birthday. Um, no, I only woke up like 30 minutes ago. I always make these streams like early-ish in the morning, and I'm always tired for them. I'm always waking up. It's alright, I'll wake up pretty quick once the forge gets fired. But gotta work out what I'm gonna make first, because I know that I said in my last stream that I was gonna put out a poll for what I was gonna make this week. But for some reason, I couldn't put a poll up. Oh mate, if I could get some Black Rifle coffee, I'd kill for it. But it's ridiculously expensive to ship that stuff out to Australia, unfortunately. So hey Wolfpack, how you doing, mate? Oh yeah, well, fortunately I am over 1K, so I can continue to stream from home. I can continue to stream from my mobile. Yeah. Did they beat the box up? Did they? Hey, Nidvillier, how you doing? Yeah. Hopefully everything came to you in one piece. I tried to triple wrap it. Yeah, cool. Good to see you all here. So we're gonna work out what I'm gonna make. So for some reason I couldn't do a poll. I'm working with oh fun. Bad sunburns always sucks. Yeah, well that's what I hoped, Jared. I was hoping it was all gonna arrive there nice and chill by the pool, sipping on margaritas. But anyway, so I was going to put up a poll, but I'm working with YouTube at the moment because all of my creative studio stuff is completely screwed. So I have no idea what I'm making today. So we need to work it out, guys. Ah, fair enough, Draysons. Well, thank you for checking in. All the same. Yeah, it's a nice little bottle opener, that one. You obviously got that because you were my top tier patron, and all of my top tier patrons get a bottle opener from me. Hey, Caitlin, how you doing? Standing here working out what I'm going to be making. No idea. I was going to make some arrowheads, but I've already finished making the order of arrowheads, and I don't really need to build up a stock of them yet. Could make myself a new set of pickup tongs. My pickup tongs are completely screwed. No, I'm not making any more scrolls, Daniel. That was one time. A rose? Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of making roses and stuff like that. This is a bladesmithing channel. Da, da, da. Plus, I'm not sure I could make a rose in an hour, seeing as I've never made one before. Or an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it takes. No idea. Normally I look at my stock and just see what I've got, and that gives me a better idea of what I could do. Some Viking knife blanks? Yeah, I could do that. Oh, I was supposed to make a calla lily. You know what? Yeah, 1 1/4 inch blade tongs. I've got blade tongs. Yes, I know Roy still loves me. It's all good. I've got 1 1/4 inch blade tongs, fortunately. Okay, well, I will make a calla lily, I promise, Dustin, but, yeah, man, my bad. I've completely forgot about that. Get beard products? Yeah, my mum sells beard products, actually. She runs a small shop up in Kalamunda, my old hometown. Look, I have no idea what I'm making. This is always the hardest part. Getting started. I'm sure this is super interesting. Watching me indecisively wander around my shed. I think I'm going to go with... Do I have any stock welded up? Not very much. That doesn't help. Okay, new plan. Best guess as to what I can make from this piece of leaf spring. Box jaws, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not making box jaws today. Beard balm, oil, and beard beds. Well, fair enough. Hammer and tree stand ladder steps. That's cool. Yeah, Daniel, it's called Die. A flint strider. Yeah, I've already done that. No. So I've got a piece of leaf spring here, and leaf spring's not the greatest for the strikers anyway. I think I'm going to go with Caitlin's request and make a Kamisori. Now, Kamisori is just a Japanese fixed-handled straight razor, so it's not quite like your standard straight razors that you get from the local Western style barber, but I think I've got just enough here to make a little Kamisori. So let's do that. Let's make a Kamisori. Don't know if I'll be shaving with it today. Yeah, you got picked, Caleb. Hey, Hanneman, how you doing? Yeah, me too, Nibbler, me too. Although I much prefer the smell of a charcoal forge. But hey, winter's coming. Yeah, well, we all do. lucky that I just passed that threshold a couple weeks ago. Something you guys might notice is a bit different. Those of you who don't follow me on Facebook or Instagram, my anvil stand might look a little different to you. It doesn't rock anymore. Isn't that wonderful? It doesn't rock anymore. The anvil is tight to the face of the anvil stand. Holy hell. Yeah, sorry, Uncle Bucks, but it's coming to winter here. We've just suffered through summer. I don't know, Daniel. I do not know. So yeah, now the anvil sounds like a proper anvil. Nice and muted. I spent 2 days building that. It's all doweled together. So it's all solid Jarrah, which is very hard Australian wood. And I used the same tie down method at the I'd use the same tie down method that Essential Craftsman used. Yeah, you do, man, you do. Yeah, I'm so happy that I built this stand. The change that it's wrought on my anvil is just crazy. I can't believe it took me that long to do it. Now the trick is to get me to stop playing with it. Start that handle. It might be a good idea. You know, the anvil doesn't jump around anymore. Nice and solid. You won't rock on the stand anymore. That sounds really good, Jared. Hopefully that goes through. Hey Ben, how you doing, mate? Morning B&B, how you going? It is morning, but it's evening for you. Yeah, I'm not bad, Ben, not too bad. Raving about my new anvil stand that I spent a couple of days making. Yeah, I normally forge with the horn on the right. This just makes it easier for me to use my Hardy tools. It's especially true when I'm making arrowheads, because the rule is you never leave this in the Hardy hole. But when I'm making arrowheads, a lot of the time I will need to switch. See ya, Jason, thanks for checking in, mate. I need to switch between the hot cut Hardy and the face of the anvil quite often, so being able to leave that in and work over here means that I'm well clear of the hot cut, but then I have access to it when I need it. I also do it when I'm making nails. Hey, hello Try, how you going? Sure if I'm going to be able to show this on camera, but it's unfortunate. I think I quenched this from a really high temperature back when I originally cut the piece off it. Let's try and show it. You see all these, try not to touch the steel, but there's actually, you can see a crack right there. There's a crack that actually runs along the side of the weld there. And this whole tang section here is just full of microfractures. Actually, the microfractures actually split open over here. Now, I think that's because this was a piece I was working on. I actually had, it was quite a long piece. And I hot cut the main piece I was working on off the bar, and then just kind of, while it was still at a forging temperature, drop this into a bucket of water. Because I wasn't planning on doing anything with it, so I didn't really worry about it. But there you go. There is evidence of of the cracking you can get from. Yeah, you can see the big ones, like the one that runs along the spine here, and that one that's split open. But trust me when I say it looks like the surface of the Sahara. So yeah, it's still solid, but it's not going to be any good for a Camasauri. It's not going to make a decent razor if it's full of cracks. So, need to find something else. Whew. Right. Go look through the steel rack. Hey, Yamas. How you going, mate? Yeah, well, that kind of stuff happens, and that's why you've got to be really careful with what you do with your steel. We're standing over here at the steel rack. This might work. Some nice 01. Choices. So many choices. How you going, How you going, Yamos? Tossing them up. Yeah, so I have different shells for different materials: round stock, square stock, flat stock, and then old stuff, which is what I'm holding right now. We got a file and a piece of leaf spring. And this file was made in Austria in, I think it was the 1940s. Yeah, I think this one was the 1940s. I collect a lot of very old files. One of the reasons that I collect very old files is because they have very old steel, and the steel is really good. So I like making stuff out of these, especially because they got a history. So this is a 1940s Austrian file. And then I've got some really old leaf spring. This stuff's from a buggy, from a carriage, from a horse and carriage from the 18 somewhere. Oh, it was somewhere around the 1800s. I think in the late 1800s, like 1870s, 1880s. Um, yeah, picked this up off a friend. I've got a couple pieces of this. I like working with old stuff, giving it new life. But the question is, which one do I choose? I'm leaning towards the file because the file will be a little harder, which means it'll hold its edge a little bit better. The leaf spring will have the advantage of having a little bit of chromium in it, which means it'll rust less, a little bit less, tiny little bit less. Well, seeing as Caitlin was the one who you resist rust slightly, very slightly. Like 5160 will, well, I mean, leaf spring normally has a little bit of chromium and a bit of vanadium to help it be springier, funnily enough, but it's also softer. But the chromium and vanadium are rust-resistant alloys. And so 5160, if you left 5160 and W2 out in the rain for a while, the W2 would rust faster. Seeing as Caitlin chose the project for today, I'm going to go with the steel that she chose, buggy spring. So now I just need to weld it to a handle. Because no matter how good your tongs are, they're never as good as a handle. Yeah. Hopefully I don't lose the stream because I just had to unplug my router while I do this. Oh, thanks for popping in, Yanez. Well, you get some sleep, bud. Thanks for jumping in. Maybe I'll see you next time. Oh, come on. That bridge is a little high. Now, I want to connect the ground. That's how a weld should sound. Beautiful. Very little slag. Slag all ran off, which is what you want. Despite what my despite what my fabrication looks like in some of my other videos, I actually do know how to weld. You might not believe me, but I do. Bit of weld porosity. That'll do. All right. Handles on. Turn you around so you can see the forge. Hey George, how you doing, mate? My welder is a Unimig, it's just a Unimig backpack welder. There you go. It's a little 170 amp backpack welder. It's tiny, but it does the job. And as to flux core, well, you don't use flux core for a stick welding, but you use flux surface. I've heard good things about Montpel. From Yarmouth himself. No, so obviously the flux is on the outside of the welding rod when you're using a stick welder. I would love to get a MIG. That little backpack welder can be set up for TIG welding. It's just that I don't have all of the gas lines and all that kind of stuff. It's just I don't have the money for that. And for most of the work that I do, a little stick welder like that's going to do. I can arc weld with some of the best, most days. Some days I can't arc weld at all. Same as well. Yeah, MIG welders are great for filling gaps and for manufacture. TIG welders are really good for fine stuff. The reason I want a MIG is because I don't do a lot of TIG work. As far as handles on material goes, I know Caitlin said that she doesn't use handles, and Jared, you don't use handles unless you're doing Damascus. The big thing about a handle is that no matter how strong your grip on the tongs, no matter how good your tong clips are, there will always be a weak point in the connection. Right, so basically, when I'm as a bladesmith, a lot of the time I'm working with bar stock, and as you can see, like this is a bar of 1040, or 1084, sorry, 1084. And as you can see, I'm starting to preform a knife out of the plank here, and so therefore the connection is as strong as this section here is. So if this is still thick, which it is, it's going to stay on there. If I was holding that with tongs, no matter how hard I gripped it, no matter how well the tongs were shaped, the connection point between the tongs and the material was always going to be weak. Now with a piece of Rio welded on the end, as long as your weld is strong, which my welds are normally pretty strong, it's just like using the full bar of steel. It's just that, instead of having a full bar of steel, you have a piece of Rio or a piece of 12mm square or whatever you got. And that just makes life so much more easy when you're doing the big, heavy hitting, so that it doesn't spin out of the tongs. Well, yeah, wiring is always a bit of a pain. But I have to say, if you guys want a welder and you just want a good all-round welder, SIG one like CIG, and Unimig, just go over here to my little Unimig. So this is a Unimig Aqua 170 DC inverter. Inverter welders are the way to go. If you've got like really poor home wiring and stuff like that, a small inverter welder, will do the job. And actually, inverter welders can do TIG welding without having to rewire for 220. Do not do what Jared has told you. Hey Jack, how's it going? Yeah, they're a good little welder. That welder cost me 200 Australian dollars, which is about 170, 150 American dollars. They're really cheap. Rods are incredibly cheap, and it'll get pretty much any job done. Like with 170 amps out of that welder, I can bore holes through half-inch steel. Yeah, literally. If I'm running that at 170 amps with a 4mm rod or a 5mm rod, I can literally melt a hole through half-inch steel. And I mean, I built that swage block stand over there, this one here, in a recent video with that little inverter welder. So if you guys are looking for a welder and you don't have the space, you don't have the money, you don't have the proper amperage settings in your house, a little inverter welder like that is going to do everything you possibly want. And there's my spiel for today. One of many, I suppose. Getting me talking isn't hard, it's getting me to shut up is the trick. Yeah, the thing about what Jared's saying is you can do that. Whether you should is a totally different question. Out of the shoulder. I think Bob's got it. that. Yeah, well, you use what you can, I suppose. Started somewhere. My first forge, if you haven't seen the video on it, I'll take you out and show you. So this is my channel charcoal forge. This is one I built recently, or recently being a couple of years ago. Oop. Move the door pin. That was my first forge. This whole forge table I built with my dad. And then under there you can see the T-piece where you got the ash dump at the bottom and then the side blast for the air. And that obviously goes up through the tuya. And that's the final piece. A little bit more built up than some people's first forges, but I'm never known to do anything by halves. There's another charcoal forge. There's a charcoal forge. Oh yeah. The tires got melted. It happened. I wasn't too worried about it. Sorry, I just had to step away so I can get some hydration. Always important to stay hydrated. The reason I don't have a big one is because I couldn't afford the down payment on one. I actually only had two, but then I got gifted another two from a friend of mine. I do plan on getting the big one. Nice. Good, that's awesome. I just recently had a Firepot laser cut for Valhalla Ironworks. He sent me a custom design, and I have a friend who runs a laser cutting service. That'll be winging its way to him in the next week or so, along with some other cool stuff that's to come. Might actually do a video on making the little other thing that he sent. Decided I'm going to get fancy. Laser cutting is a lot more accurate than plasma cutting. You don't have to do any cleanup afterwards. That's the main advantage of laser cutting. Like with plasma cutting, you normally end up getting a rag on the end of it. Whereas with a laser cut blank, you can actually shear paper like yeah, something like that. The only problem with water jet is that water jet tends to be a very uneven surface. Yeah, my grinder is laser cut. Beef is a laser cut. Just for example, these triangles were laser cut. And you can see the cleanliness of the edges. Like, this isn't ground or anything. This is straight off the laser. You can see how clean they are. And they're accurate to within 1,000th. getting a little fancy with the handle. Yeah, that's cool. I'm going a little untraditional with my Camasauri. Traditionally, it would have a very thin handle, and then you'd wrap it. What I'm going to do is just a solid integral. Now we'll go on to the blade. Cheers, Alex. Have a good one, mate. Take it easy. Camasauri, or Japanese straight razors, are chisel ground. They're not equally hollow ground. They are chisel ground, flat ground. Very much like most Japanese cutlery is chisel ground. The other thing is that with Western style razors, they are folding, so you normally have a handle and then you have the razor. A Camasauri is literally just one piece. It's basically like a fixed blade knife. They're very different to your Western style. Normally they have a hollow on the back side to aid in sharpening, but yeah, otherwise they're just around. That's what I mean. Chisel ground is flat on one side, beveled on the other.
To be honest, somewhere around 2 pounds is good for me. 2.5. My number one favorite hammer at the moment is my rounding hammer. My cast off rounding hammer that I accidentally made the eye a little bit wonky, so it now became my rounding hammer. And this one is 2.25 pounds. crossbeam. Yeah, that's it. At the moment I'm using a 3-pound crossbeam. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, and a lot of it comes down to the length of the handle. You'll notice on my my other dog's head, about the same length of handle, a little bit longer. This one is a 2-pound dog's head. And I have my then I have one of my 1.5-pound dog's heads, like the one I made for Valhalla Ironworks. I'll get this one out for a while. Use this one to bevel the razor. With the length of the handle on this one, quite a long handle, I can actually get a lot of speed with this. Yeah, I'll be using the dog's head. How you going, Ed? So I'm going to cut that off the bar and then I'll be able to bevel it. Yeah, Bob, it's funny, I actually never planned on making hammers for anyone. And then I made that dog's head hammer video because a friend of mine asked me for a dog's head. Suddenly I sold like 12 hammers in a couple of months. And after 12 hammers, I hadn't made a single one for myself. So I ended up making a rounding hammer that I stuffed up the eye on. It just came out slightly angled. It doesn't hurt the hammer, it just doesn't look right. And originally I was going to throw it away, but I decided to put a handle on it and keep it for myself. That's the only hammer that I made for myself that I own. Then I made this one. This one came out perfect. This is the first hammer that I ever decided that I was going to make myself. I made this a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, last year. Okay, it's been a while. that one in water. Just going to quickly hit this on the grinder. Forge, how you doing, mate? Happy Saturday. Yeah, it's Friday. That's it. I was listening to your podcast last night, Brandon. Well, it was last night. Sounds good, man. Like to have a bit of smile in my races. I am making a razor, Takeshi. Takeshi, sorry. Oh, that sounds good, George. I wish I had the time to build a bloody triple hammer. Finally gave out. Hammer handle gave out. I was wondering when it was going to happen. No, just the wrong grain orientation. Back when I got this this wood, it all run the grain. If you look at the top of the wood, the grain was running sideways to the hammer. What you want is the same as an axe. You want it running in line with the hammer, and that's why it's split down that way. It's all good. I expected it to happen. I was actually testing the wood. This is durian wood, and durian wood is historically, it's a very soft wood, right? It's actually quite nice to carve. So, but I'd never seen it used as a hammer handle wood, so I wanted to test it out. So now I've tested it out, I know that it works, I can make another one. I'm going to use Wandoo for the next handle, and that stuff is bomb-proof. It is absolutely bomb-proof. But it's okay, I have another one. No, Jarrah is terrible. Jarrah is a terrible handle wood. It actually smells beautiful. If you burn durian wood, it smells awesome. It's actually a really, really nice smell. Surprising. You know, Jarrah fractures like that. It is really, really fragile. Straighten it out a little bit. Ash is really good, but you can't get ash in Australia. Australia, we import durian from Indonesia. Yeah, ash doesn't grow in Australia, nor does oak. Nor does hickory, nor does birch, nor does maple. None of the awesome woods that you get in Australia, in America, grow here. Spotted gum is one of the best handle woods for Australia. So both the wood and the fruit we import from Indonesia. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard the ash is kind of taking a bit of a turn. A bit of a different perspective on things.
All right. Hey, Charming Hello, how you doing, mate? Yeah. Ash borer beetle, yeah, it sucks. No, I don't like the fruit, Caitlin. Durian, not my style. Okay, so in answer to Sheki's question, I use dog's head hammers for beveling. So dog's head hammers are traditionally a Japanese style of hammer. I actually make them. The hammer broke on my other one, unfortunately. So yeah, I use dog's head hammers mostly for beveling. They're an incredibly good beveling tool. But I do use them for a lot of other things. It's just a style of hammer that you get really, really familiar with. I also find that they naturally want to fall face first. With an equal-ended hammer, you tend to, if you have them angled slightly, they won't self-correct. They'll just kind of fall that way without correcting themselves. Whereas with a dog's head hammer, they always want to fall face first. No matter what way you drop them, they always want to fall with that face facing down. So that's why I use them. It's because they're self-correcting, and it means I don't have to spend as much time worrying about which way my hammer is oriented. But I just like them to the end of the day. So yeah. Yeah, a lot of the time it just comes down to preference. I picked up dog's heads because I like them. And yeah, that's the beginning and end of it. I need to make a new handle for this one. But that's okay. I have the ability to make them. Well, I make hammers, so making handles is no big deal. It looks like this one's split. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, I'll have to do a bit more research on that one. Depends on the hammer. I normally sell these dog's head hammers with handles for about $150, and I can engrave them for extra as well. I recently made one for Alex from Valhalla Ironworks. If you wanted a larger dog's head, I actually got a couple of larger dog's heads in the works. Let me just because they'll be quite warm. They're sitting on the top of the... Whoops. So I've got some 3-pound dog's heads that I'm working at. So these are 4140, and I've got to octagonalize them and get them upset and stuff like that. So yeah, I will have 2 of these. I'm thinking I might keep one. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, I might have 2. I'll definitely have 1 for sale very soon. Very soon. Soonish. And yeah, if you want to order a dog's head hammer, you can just contact me. I have made a dog's head hammer video. If you look back in my videos, I actually made the second hammer I'd ever made was that dog's head I made in that video. I made one for a test piece, which I still have somewhere. This is the first hammer I ever made. I actually made it curved downwards because I plan on using it as a file cutting hammer. So that's where this one comes from. Not sure what the shipping is to Colorado. I've shipped to Florida, and I think it cost like, I'm trying to remember, it was like $30 or something like that. I think it was. It's not cheap, but it's not super expensive. Oh, okay, well, I've shipped to Jared. What did your shipping cost last, Jared? I can't even remember. What was it like? Fuck, I don't know. I think that last one cost me like $50 to ship to Jared, but that was a big square box. I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll have to work it out. Yeah, put some JB Weld on. I'm actually thinking. Alex brought up a very good point in his one of his most recent Instagram posts, is that wrapping your the neck of your hammers with basically it's like overstrike for axes, but you're not going to overstrike with. Well, I hope you're not overstriking with a hammer, but it really solidifies this section. So if you wrap it with like leather thong or in my case, I'm going to wrap mine with rawhide and let it dry and get it nice and solid. And that way it's going to be a nice solid connection, and that way it'll reinforce that section of the hammerhead. I think that's a really good idea. I have overstrike on my axes. Actually, this is one of my axes that I use when I'm out and about woodcrafting, and you can see that I've got the overstrike on there for if I kind of cut over or if I go through something, I don't damage the wood of the handle. So yeah, having an overstrike on an axe is good. I'm going to do it on my hammers as well, because that way I'll protect them from splitting like that one just did. Either sinew or rawhide. I kind of like rawhide. It's good fun. I'm just yammering while the steel cools down. But anyway, so yeah, it is a personal preference as far as hammer goes, and if you do want to order one from me, you can contact me at samtownsbladesmith@gmail.com. And I'll get back to you on that one. Otherwise, you can check out my Etsy store. Occasionally, I put stuff up there for sale. Yeah, the shipping weird. The shipping is really weird. Yeah, Jared's correct. You don't want to put. Charming Hello, I do hammer videos. I've done 2, I think. If you go back in my video list, I think it was like the 5th video I think I did was my Japanese dog's head hammer, and then I did a rounding hammer, which I sent off to a subscriber. I've also done, as part of the part of my vlog series in early of this year, I did a whole bunch of hammerheads and hammer handles that I handled up and did some engraving on them and stuff like that. So you can, yeah, you can look them up. I do that as well. I do a lot of blacksmithing stuff on my channel. I am primarily a bladesmith, but for my channel, I try and kind of. Oh yeah, that's right. I also did the graving hammer. I also did an engraving hammer. I've got that in the workshop inside. But yeah, so I've done quite a few hammer videos. I do a lot of blacksmithing on my channel, mainly because it's an opportunity for me to explore blacksmithing a little bit more. Because I am a bladesmith, I don't do as much blacksmithing as I would like to. So it's a good, fun opportunity for me to play around in the forge. Anyway, let's see. She's still a little bit hot. So, thanks to Shecky, that's great, man. But yeah, so. Whoops. I'm trying to hold on to this with hollow bit tongs, so you're going to have to, bear with me for a second. Oh, now it's drop forged. Oh, look, I didn't drop it while I was forging it. I dropped it after I forged it. So anyway, there you go. That is the Camisori. Yeah, that's it, mate. Ganbai! Which means drink in Chinese. If Valhalla Ironworks was here today, he'd be shouting it at me every time I drop something. Anyway, so this is the buggy razor. I might actually engrave buggy on it just for fun. I like a little bit of smile in my razors. It helps with digging in. A lot of people when they make their straight razors, they make them dead straight across. And that actually, the corners can actually cut you pretty nasty. So having a bit of smile in your razor is a good idea. I like the handle to be up a little bit because I tend to kind of come up and go down. I've forged the edge down to about a nickel or a dime. I don't know how thick is a nickel. I don't know. How thick is a dime? I don't know. 5-cent piece in Australian money. A dime, probably. Well, let me get the calipers out and be all accurate about this, unless I left the calipers inside. I did leave the calipers inside. That's fine. That's what they made rulers for, isn't it? Well, this is about a million and a half. Mill and a half. 1.5 millimeters. Thanks. Okay, so it's somewhere between a nickel and a dime. There's a slight bit of edge variation, but yeah, it's about 1.5 mil, 2 mil. Not too thin that it'll warp in the heat treat. I'll probably heat treat this before grinding. I won't do that today. Now, what you will not have noticed, or you may not have noticed, is that when I was hammering, I was only hammering on one side, and I was using a slightly rounded face, so that, I'm not sure if it'll be obvious. It's so annoying. I'm just going to dunk this now so it's cool enough. If it doesn't sizzle, you're not killing it. But I hammered in, I'm not sure I'll be able to see, you can see the hollow. It only touches the spine and the edge. And the other side is dead flat across the bevel. So this side will be the main bevel, and that side, where I've been hammering, will be the hollow grind, which will leave the forging on there, and it'll only take away from the spine and the edge. And that way we'll get a nice straight razor grind. I'll be able to shave with this in no time. And so yeah, you hold it like you would normally hold a straight razor. This one's pretty bulky, but get some Sam made Damascus. Yeah, well, I do plan on making some Damascus very soon. It is a little warm today. Not as warm as usual. I haven't sweat as much as I usually do because autumn is on its way. We're actually technically in autumn right now, but it's actually quite cool. It's actually quite cool today. I think it's like 26 degrees. It's not bad. I like it. I'm looking forward to winter. I don't shave very often, if you can't tell. I've never shaved with a razor that I've made. This is the first razor I've ever made. I may end up actually selling this one once it's done. There is a guy who's been asking me for a straight razor for quite a few years, and I never had the guts to make one, so thank you, Caitlin, for giving me the idea. There you go, made one out of an old buggy spring. I think I'm going to dunk this in vinegar for 24 hours, take all that scale off, because I don't plan on keeping the scale on there. Oh yeah. If you look back at the January videos and the December videos, you'll notice that I basically look like I've gone for a swim without being anywhere near water. It does get pretty hot over here. 110 degrees to 120 is pretty average for summer days in Australia. And with the big gas forge running, unfortunately this one's not as refractive as others, so it gives off quite a bit of heat. With this thing running, it can get up to 50 degrees Celsius in this workshop. So yeah, 120, 130 in this workshop. And the ceiling can get to the point that the ceiling can get to the point that it actually sizzles when you hit it with water. It's great fun. G'day Peter, how you doing? I do wrap a towel around my head. It's the famous blue and grey ninja. I have both. Today I was the grey ninja. This keeps my eyes free of sweat. It may look stupid, but my god, I can't do without it, so... Cowabunga, dude. Cowabunga it is. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Came out alright. Nice and straight. Should be able to tell. Nice and straight. Put that little curly Q on the end so I can hang it from the wall or something like that if I want to. I'm in Perth, Western Australia. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I actually people have been telling me I should make Blue Ninja headbands and sell them, and I'm thinking about it. You know, I'll make it work. So if Australia was my hand, well, this is going to be really awkward because this is in reverse camera mode. So I'm looking at it. Oh God, I can't figure this out. So Sydney is on the east coast. Perth is on the exact opposite side. So you know where Tasmania is, the little tiny island off the bottom of Australia, 2 peaks at the top, little tiny island on the right hand side of Australia. Perth is on the left hand side of Australia, right down the bottom near the beard, little beard of Australia. We are the butthole of nowhere. In the middle of nowhere. The Devil Island, exactly. Tasmanian Devil Island. Yeah, so I'm Perth, WA is right over the other side of Australia from Sydney. I'm 3,000 kilometers, or roughly 2,000 miles from Sydney. About 2,500 miles from Queensland, from Valhalla Ironworks. Yeah, man, we're Jersey, except without the accent. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed checking in with this. Sorry it took me so long to get to deciding what we were going to make. I've been going for an hour and a half, which is pretty average for a Saturday stream. I hope you all have a fantastic week. I will have another video out on Wednesday. I will probably be making something that involves laser cutting. I'm going to show you this piece, and you guys can guess what I'm making. It was all laser cut, but I got to fabricate it, so I think that's going to be my project for this week. So you guys can look forward to seeing me swear at my welder for a few days. Thank you very much, and stay tuned to my Facebook and Instagram Instagram stories for a shot of this razor once it's finished. I will probably finish it up in the next week or so when I get some spare time, and you guys can check that out. So anyway, guys, I'm going to see you later. Have a good night or a good morning wherever you are, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Have a good one.